All right, in this video, I want to go over the top 5 things that many AC companies do not want you to know about that will save you thousands of dollars. Let's get into it.
Mechanics for non-mechanics.
All right, so let's look at a capacitor real quick. This is what it would look like in the store. Okay, this says 30 plus 5. So there's 2 sides, again, on most capacitors. That's called a dual run capacitor. So dual is 2, okay? So there's 2 sides to it. And you always want to, if you do get a capacitor, make sure you match it up 370 to 440 VAC, or it might just say 370 on there. But this is the big thing. Make sure the size is the same, 30 plus 5. So let's open this up. Hey, if this video is helping you out so far, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. It helps us reach a larger audience with these helpful videos. Let's keep it going. So this is what kind of what a capacitor is going to look like. It might look a little different, but you see for the 2 sides, it'll have 2 variables, okay? So 30 plus 5, or it'll say 30/5. So what you have is the 30, the larger number, is always going to account for the compressor side, okay? Or what's called the hermetic side, H-E-R-M, herm. And the smaller side is going to be the fan side, okay? So you see up here we have hermetic, herm. So the herm goes to the compressor, and then the fan goes to the fan, the outside fan, okay? And then the common side is C. So common takes care of both of these, okay? So a lot of times, this is not always the case, but a lot of times the common will have 4 terminals, and the hermetic will have 3 terminals, and the fan will have 2 terminals. Anytime you take a capacitor out, if you do change it, make sure you take a picture of where all the wires are going, okay? But if you forgot to do that, then potentially you can look at and see, okay, well, this one, because sometimes these letters will be scratched off or rusted through, and you won't be able to tell which one is which. Well, a tip can be the hermetic side has 3 terminals, the common has 4, and the fan has 2. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they'll all have 4 or all have 3 or something. This is what helps turn on your compressor outside and your fan outside in a lot of cases. Although, like I said, sometimes your fan will actually won't require a capacitor. If you want to do a deep dive into capacitors, check out that video right there. Let's move to the next one. So this is your contactor. It might have a cover over it, or it might not. These are in your outdoor unit, okay? This right here, you have 24 volts connected from the thermostat. Now, basically, you have 240 volts, so don't even mess with this before you first shut off the breaker to your outdoor unit. And I just want you to look at it. I don't want you to mess with it anyway. But basically 24 volts comes in here. You have 240 volts, very dangerous, high voltage down here. And that is connected to your breaker, okay? And then the other side is connected to your compressor and fan. And so it's just waiting, okay? This is acting as like, again, acting kind of like a breaker in between these 2 lines, okay? So this is connected at all times. You got the breaker, 240 volts going in, but it's stopped right here, okay? So it's not going it's not starting your compressor, or your compressor and fan would just run all the time. So this is something to stop it in the middle, and that stop is controlled by your thermostat. 24 volts tells it to come on. When there's a little magnet, a little coil in here, 24 volts connected to your thermostat. So when your thermostat says to come on to cool your house, 24 volts goes across that coil and it pulls in like a magnet, okay? Because it's electromagnetism. So the electrical goes across there, that pulls in the magnet, and now you have 240 volts running across, which turns on your compressor, turns on your fan. When your thermostat tells it to shut off, boom, it shuts off. And now that magnet that was pulled in, now it shuts off, and 240 volts is no longer running through and controlling that compressor on. If you want to know more about contactors, click on that video right there. Let's move on. It's blocking 80% of the coil. So because of that, your pressures are going to run hot. Everything's going to be super hot, put more strain on the compressor. It's not going to run efficiently. So I'm going to clean these off with a hose. So this is going to get a lot of them off. And we're also going to spray from the inside out as well. If you want a more in-depth video on cleaning out your condenser coil, click on that video right there. Let's keep it moving. Okay, this is the shop vac that I use right here, and you'll see this particular line. This is about $30 at Lowe's, okay? And this particular hose here fits perfectly onto a normal 3/4 inch primary drain line of PVC, okay? It'll fit directly on there, and you just turn it on and you suck out all of that junk in there, okay? Sometimes you'll have the safety switch. You'll have, like I said, sometimes in the attic there will be a secondary pan where the water starts to go into the secondary pan, and you'll have a safety switch that will actually turn the unit off. So this is also a lot of our calls when people say, hey, nothing's blowing, the unit just turned off. Well, that's because there's a safety switch upstairs that's saying, I'm going to turn off the unit so that it doesn't produce any more condensate, so that we don't have a blockage of water or water overflowing onto your ceiling. And so all you do, you hook up the vacuum to the line, and you just turn it on and suck out that drain line. If you want to know more about cleaning out your drain line, click out on that video right there. Let's move on. You should be changing your filter about once a month, okay? If you can get away with once every 2 months, that's probably okay as well, but you shouldn't be going any more than that. Now, if you have washable filters, which are perfectly fine, and actually save you a lot of money because you can just clean them every month instead of having to actually run to Lowe's and grab another filter. You just put it up against the wall, you know, spray it down a few times, flip it over, spray it down, and that thing will be clean. If you want to know more about how to clean your filter and why your filter is important, click on that video right there. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you can be informed anytime we drop a video, and we will see you in the next video.